Yeah, so I just decided to go live. It's always interesting to see Dewey. What's up, man? Why are you always on? You should be out working. Chris, how you doing? And of course, we've got Wild West in the house. Be clean. What's going on? So I was sitting in my office just doing some work, and decided, hey, I'm gonna hop on a second and uh, and just see who's out there. If anybody wanted to chit chat, I'm on lunch. That apartment mate, yeah, I hear you, brother. Hello, Beth. How are you? How many? What's up? Work is overrated, Ryan. You nailed that, and you're a hustler. Hey, Mike, listening to this on my way to a house wash up here in the Pacific Northwest, Washington. That's where I'm from originally, Oregon. What's up, Scott? Hour long lunches. Nothing wrong with that. Uh, Actually, in the process of uploading a new video that I'll put out in a couple days. One of the things that we talk about in there is some of the key elements of what I did in the past year to really propel my business to, and I know this sounds cliche, the next level. So it's a couple of the things that I did was I'm just reading these as well. Hey Scott, everybody, Gerard. So one of the things that I did that I'd never done before was run Facebook ads. And it was just something that I just never saw any value in. I wasn't personally on Facebook. I don't have a profile. I don't have any of that. Obviously, I've got something so I can have a business account. And on occasion, we do post on there. But my friend Justin from Forever Self Employed, you guys know him. He is one of the greatest minds when it comes to Facebook advertising. And he was, he's got this Facebook ad strategy course, and he's been, promoting that and selling that for a long time. And I just kept hearing success story after success story from guys and girls out there. And I thought, you know what? Why not try it? So I'm going to take his stuff, I'm going to implement it, and I am going to see what happened. And to my surprise, because in my opinion, Facebook was more about posting pictures of your food or looking at cat memes than advertising, right? People don't go to Facebook to get sold; they go to socialize or do whatever it is they do on. Brandon, don't talk about my aquarium. I'll tell you why it looks so bad. Anyway, Google is always where I focused, right? GMB, Google, Google Ads, things of that nature, simply because people go there for a specific reason. It's not an afterthought. On Facebook, I always felt like you were advertising to someone that was there for somebody else, so it wasn't going to be as effective. And what's up, True Seeker? And so I never really focused on it, but the feedback that I've gotten from customers, the amount of work that we've generated from running ads there has been really impressive. It's eclipsed Nextdoor. It's eclipsed pretty much any of my online marketing, with the exception, obviously, of GMB. So I started running those ads. So that was one of the main things that I had done to really increase our gross sales for last year. And that's one of the things that I was just saying that we were going to talk about in this next video that I put out. What else? Scaling. I mean, obviously, if you guys are watching now, you probably have seen some of my videos, and you know that I'm all about scaling and automation and things of that nature. And that's very important to a business. So yeah, and then my other focus last year was really drilling down on how I went about approaching the commercial market. We were always like an 80-20%. Yeah, those are called pixels. And those are very good to use for data collection and targeting your ideal customer. Anyway, so I really focused on commercial work. In fact, I'm about to run over and look at a building, well, actually two buildings. This guy had sent me a text message I get just randomly, and he's like, "Hey, do you do commercial work?" And this was 2 days ago, and I was like, "Yeah, absolutely." And he's like, "I've got 10 buildings that I need you to look at. I need 2 of them done ASAP. When can you get out there?" And so I'm about to head out there and meet the guy at about 1:45. So I got to get off here in probably 20 minutes or so. What's up, Greg? And so, and the cool part was he got my number from his son because we had apparently washed his house recently and did such a good job. And the son was raving about the service and the quality of work. Apparently told his dad. Dad calls me, and hopefully we lock down a new commercial account and also some recurring commercial work. But working on the commercial side of the business has always been something that I've always done. We've leaned heavily over the past 10 or so years on residential, and this past year I've really focused on commercial. So it's really paid off. I think we tripled our commercial work from the previous year. So everybody, you got it, Greg. Thanks. So is everybody out there working today? I know a couple of you guys are, a couple of y'all are on lunch break. Maybe it's 1 o'clock where I'm at. It's so, and if you guys got any questions or anything, please put them in the chat and I'll answer them as we go. Not sure if anybody was able to catch the live that we did last night. It was with Cody from Southeast Softwash, Aaron from the Lean and Mean Academy, Justin from Forever Self-Employed. That's right, Dewey, you're in Tennessee. And myself, obviously. But we were kind of going over like the core 4 values and things that are important to business growth, business success, long-term sustainability in your business. And I think it was a pretty good video. I don't know if it's still up right now. I know that we're going to be putting that out there, just painting 3 miles of fence. I hope you're spraying it. Or you're like Tom Sawyer and you got a bunch of kids to come in and do it for you and trick them into thinking it was fun. Yes, Dewey, we do have an inner circle meeting tonight, 8 Eastern. And hey, Reggie, what's going on? Good to see you. Core 4, baby. That's right. Inner circle meeting tonight. What else? Killing mice out here, Mike. I hear you. Okay, good, True Seeker. That's a lot of fence, man. 3 miles. That's probably a really good job. So anyway, we were talking about that. So when that comes back out, definitely probably check that out. I think there was some pretty good information on there. We also talked about Erica from Save Mart. Hello. Or is it Eric at Save Mart, or is it Erica T Save Mart? I don't know. Anyway, the Core 4, talking about Washcon. That's the event that we've got coming up in about a month, actually. A month from today, we'll be on our 2nd day. It's in Nashville, Tennessee. It's going to be at the Standard Club, which is a private, really high-end club. We only have the capacity for 100 people. We were initially doing 10 VIP tickets, which is a 3rd day. And we have since increased that. That sold out so fast. The demand was so great that we added some additional tickets. I think there's a couple left on that. I'm not exactly sure. Eric, Save Mart, got it. And so we've got those. I think there's like 30, 35 standard tickets that are left. We sold several last night, which was pretty cool. But it's going to be awesome. You've got, the 4 of us that are, just spending basically 2 days with you guys, going over our particular expertise, areas of expertise. Obviously I've been in the business way too long and done a lot of good things, a lot of bad things, learned from my mistakes. And, at Washcon, I'm going to walk you through Amazon's here. anyway, talked about that, GMB, all of those things, the social media pieces. We're gonna have Aaron and Justin. They're gonna really focus in on those, as well as a bunch of other things. And then of course you've got Cody from Southeast Soft Wash, who is he's the equipment man, biggest manufacturer of soft wash equipment in the world, which is pretty impressive. I want to be there just for the knowledge and meet you guys. Yeah, it's going to be really fun. And Dewey, it probably will be. Nashville is pretty centrally located for us, and we've got a great venue. And so I'm probably, we'll do the Washcon 2023 in Nashville as well. So it's something to think about, something to look forward to. What else? I guess that was the one thing that we spoke about. Obviously, there was a lot of others. Does anybody have any questions for me, or do you want to make fun of my haircut? My dogs are in the front yard and they're barking at the Amazon guy. So I hope he brings whatever it is that he's bringing. Let's see. Hit me with some questions, guys. One thing that I've done recently, just for fun, is I got on TikTok. I never thought about TikTok before. Obviously, it's not really for the business, because I see zero value in TikTok for a service business like ours. But for the YouTube channel, kind of reaching a younger audience. Not that anyway. Long story short, I got on there, and the amount of comments from people that are, I don't want to say, well, just there's a lot of comments out there that just, it's so funny. Like, I'm making videos just like I make on here that are to help people, give advice on some of the things, like, how to get paid if the customer refuses to pay. Just, some videos like that, valuing yourself, valuing your service, making sure that you're getting paid, making sure you know where your market is, making sure you understand all your costs so you can price accordingly, because you don't want to just break even. You don't want to lose money. This is a business and you want it, it's for profit. Anyway, the reason that, and so then you get all these comments, and they're comical. I mean, I think the main point of, Bellow US. I'll answer that in a second. The comments like, why are you always talking about money? And I'm not talking about money. I'm talking about pricing, and talking about quoting, and talking about the ways to, make sure that your business is going to be successful over a long time frame, because there are so many people, because there is a relatively low point of entry as far as cost in this business, that these people will get into it. They'll go out and they'll charge, $50 for a driveway, or not, $100 for a one-story house. And you're never going to make any money doing that, right? It might feel like you're making money because you got cash in your pocket, but are you really making money? Are you spending your time wisely? And the answer is no. And so that's kind of the premise of, obviously, this whole channel is education, elevating businesses, elevating business owners, trying to give back. And not that I know everything. I mean, I'm learning stuff every single day, just like you guys. And it's fun, right? It's fun. This is a game. The business is a game. And I know that sounds, what's up, Stanfield? Self-worth is key, Dewey. But I look at this as a game, right? Like, to me, this is fun. It's not about spraying water. It's not about spraying bleach. It's about, how do I get my phone to ring? How do I get people to hit my website? What do I do on Google, or what do I do on my website? What do I do on social media, on the different places where we do our marketing? How do we get better? And that's the game. That's what's so fun about this, right? But back to the TikTok. All you're doing is spraying water. All you're doing, you think you know so much. What social media has made pressure washers think they're important, right? Or you're easily replaceable. You're just labor. There's no skill, right? And probably a lot of people out there think that we are unskilled laborers, right? We're just out there squirting water on their house. And those aren't my customers, right? My customers are the ones that see the value in what we offer, see the value in dealing with a professional company, seeing the value in dealing with a company that's responsive, that does good work, that follows up, that follows through, that does what they say they're going to do. And these are all things that you know, if you're going to be successful in this world, you have to be and do all of those things, right? Because ultimately, at the end of the day, anybody can go out and get, a little pressure washer for several $100s, and they're in business, right? Are they our competition? I don't think they are. It is a broke mentality. You're absolutely right. Poor mindset. Reggie Bryce nailed it. Killed it with that comment. Anyway, so that's kind of what I was saying. There was a couple questions. How do you feel about marketing using landing pages for pressure washing services? I think it's a great idea. I use landing pages all the time. Not only is it good, quick, and easy, but it allows you to track, right? Because you can see the traffic to each of your individual landing pages. You can see what marketing is working best, and by driving them to a specific page, which of course then you can collect that data and make decisions for your business based on data. Data is what we use to be successful. Without data, without collecting that data, without using the data that you've collected, you're just kind of shooting from the hip, and that's not how successful businesses are run, right? So I like landing pages. Dewey, 20 minutes from there, don't get the money for my ticket. I want to come knock. Yes, absolutely. Let's see what else. Not today. Portion valve setup. Do you have to have a valve for water, or can you just let it run straight through? You could. In fact, most of the time we have our water all the way up, to full open, and then we regulate the soap and the SH with those. But it's nice to have that third metering valve, proportioner, whatever you want to call it. So you can tweak it. You can get in a little, dial it in a little bit more. But you can absolutely do that. It's not going to cost you a whole lot extra to set it up for all three. But I do see a lot of guys just have a two-way valve on the water, which it doesn't give you a ton of accuracy, but you can still regulate it to some degree. Who else? Business is a game. It is. New concrete, 6 months old. How would you adjust your surface cleaner tips, size, and pressure? Well, we don't ever adjust the tips on the surface cleaner unless they're worn out, or something gets stuck in them, and then we have to take them apart and clean them out. Typically what we'll do is we'll adjust the pressure at the unloader, Greg. And I'm sure there's, obviously you can adjust your tips. I'm a big fan of efficiency, of moving quickly, getting in and out, doing an outstanding job. But when you're out there switching out tips, it can take a little bit more time. But if that's what you're more comfortable with, then I would by all means do that. What GPM 12 volt do you prefer? We have them all. I've got a 24 volt from Southeast Soft Wash, which is amazing. It can hit really high, buildings that you typically cannot hit with a 12 volt. But there are 7 gallon per minute and 5s. I prefer 5s, honestly. And the reason for that is there's less runoff. We don't really do a whole lot of soft washing of houses and things like that with our 12 volt system. We are predominantly doing pressure washing, on and downstreaming for most of our work. And then we're doing 12 volts for our roofs. So I like a 5 gallon per minute, and that allows us to have less runoff. And runoff obviously is something that you want to minimize. It's chemical that's going down the drain, literally, and it's potentially causing damage to whatever you've got on the ground. And obviously that's why we water. Okay. Kino. Hey, Mike, 2 questions. How do you expand from one person to more teams? And 2, What was eventually the health issue that you had in your near-death experience? Okay, those are two completely different topics, but I'm not opposed to talking about either. How do you expand from one person to two people? So there's multiple ways that you can do this. You can take baby steps, which is huge, but scaling is something that needs to be really planned out, right? You don't want to just go out and start marketing like crazy, get a ton of leads coming in, and then not be able to satisfy those leads or push those customers so far out they're not interested anymore and they're going to go find somebody else. But in my opinion, scaling is something that needs to take place over time. You need to set aside funds. You need to be able to allocate X amount per month or per week, however you want to do it, to the scalability of your company. And that's adding a machine, adding a helper, adding an additional labor, a truck, whatever it is. And maybe that scaling starts with just adding a helper, right? Because, we run one-man trucks, but I know a lot of guys do two-man trucks, and they will, they say think that, and they do. I mean, I'm never done it, but they love the fact that there's an extra person there to help, doing lots of different things. If you've got two machines, then that really makes a lot of sense. If you've got a trailer and you're a one-man operation, maybe add a machine and a helper and go from there, and then slowly scale from there. What was eventually the health issue that you had in your near-death experience? So I had bilateral walking pneumonia. I had no idea that I had it. It had kind of snuck up on me. I knew I wasn't feeling great. I was tired. I was lethargic, sweating more profusely when I was working out. And I didn't really think that it was anything other than stress, pushing myself, things of that nature. It ended up, I ended up going to an urgent care one morning, and the guy there, who's a good friend of mine, told me to go to the ER because my heart was racing so fast. Anyway, so I went, and I think maybe 8 hours later, every organ in my body shut down: heart, lungs, kidneys, you name it. And it was a bad deal, but my heart had filled up with fluid. My lungs had filled up with fluid, and they were working way overtime to compensate for, and that's what eventually just went. But, God was there, saw me through that. My family was there by my side, had a huge community of people praying for me, and, also some amazing doctors. So that was that. And no, it was not related to chemicals and pressure washing. How do you run a one-person crew? I don't know, man. We just do. That is kind of how we have always done it. Can you just set your soap and bleach dials to 0 to flush out your system instead of using the drop sticks? Well, if you're not going to be running anything through them because they're still connected to the soap and the bleach tanks, or those tubes the drop sticks are still in there. So you can turn it off, but it's not going to flush out those lines completely. It's not going to flush out. I mean, you can flush out your tank or your pump with water. We just flush everything out with everything, just because, this is a corrosive world that we live in, and anything we can do to eliminate those, excessive exposures to these chemicals is something that we try to do on the daily, including with chemical injectors and everything else. Let's see. Thank you, professional cleaners. What's going on, Mike? What percentage do you use for marketing? We are just starting off. Glad to see you better. I appreciate that. Yeah, that was back in 2019. So I've been doing well. Got COVID, kind of slowed me down a little bit back in, I don't even remember when. It doesn't matter. But, yeah. So, what percentage do you use for marketing? At this point in my business, I don't spend a tremendous amount of money on marketing, simply because we've got such a huge customer base for so long that, a large portion of the vast majority is return customers. And then also because we've been doing this so long, our Google ad placement, or not Google ads, but, our Google My Business always ranks high with all the search terms and in the areas that we're at. So we're very fortunate. And I don't know what the right answer is as far as a percentage for your marketing. In my opinion, marketing is the key. It's the foundation. Without good marketing, there's no lead flow. Without lead flow, there's no customers. Without any customers, you're not making any money and your truck is just parked. So I would allocate as much money as you possibly can. I'm not going to give you a percentage to marketing, and marketing the right way. Okay, let's see. Knowing what you know now about the business, what would be the first 5 things you would do if everything were taken away from you? No clients, no money for marketing, say $200, no employees, truck and pump. Okay, what I would do, oh my God, at this age, I'd probably cry is probably what I would do. But so, like, obviously I'm an old fella and I've been around a long time. And let's see, I totally lost my train of thought as I'm reading. I would focus, I would find a niche, right? I would figure out what my market was missing and go after that hard, right? Like everybody is pressure washing houses, soft washing houses, right? There's less roof cleaners, right? There are pressure washing companies and they do roofs. Maybe focus in on something, very specialized, become the expert in that, become the go-to company for that in your area. And that does become a little harder because there is a lot of competition or folks out there that are doing the same things that we do. But one thing that I did back then that I would do again is build yourself up. Be who you want to be, not who you currently are. And that would mean, market like you're a huge company, sell like you're a huge company. Don't be desperate like somebody that's brand new. Don't deviate from your pricing structure. I wish I had a better understanding of my numbers back then. I wish I knew the right ways to clean things, the best equipment to use, and not the most expensive equipment, the equipment that was purposely built for that job. Those are the things that I wish, or what I would do now with the knowledge that I have now if I was starting fresh, if everything I had was gone. So I don't know if that made sense or not. Mike, did you see the hater on me for adding washing to my business? Sorry for trying to make money. I didn't see that. But if anybody shits on somebody else for multiple income streams, it's because they can't do it, right? I get a lot of haters because I've got multiple income streams. I've got multiple businesses. I'm a sales rep for a big company, but I'm also a small business owner with multiple small businesses. I do this YouTube thing. We do educational things. So multiple income streams is absolutely something that you should never be ashamed of. And if somebody wants to hate, bring it. I mean, we've got all kinds of haters, people that like to talk, people that spend so much time watching, right? Like, just, if you don't like it, turn it off, go somewhere else. Okay. Ryan, I love that you're in the pressure washing business, man. Could you please explain downstream versus soft washing? I'm having a hard time telling the difference. That's a bigger conversation than we're going to have here. Soft washing is a dedicated pump that is more highly concentrated. Downstream is done with a pressure washer and a downstream injector. I've got videos on that. Check them out. Chris, advertise your services in local newspaper or no? Negative. Maybe 15 years ago, but in my opinion now, that's garbage. If the way I kind of look at things is I'm my ideal customer, right? What's up? What's up, Rob? I'm my ideal customer. Okay. I've got disposable income. I've got the ability to hire people to do the things that I don't want to do. And so I look at how I want to be marketed to, and that's how I go to market, right? I look at the things that I think do well as far as marketing. Like, if you guys watch for any amount of time, I'm a huge fan of Amazon. Not Jeff Bezos or the model or anything like that. I'm a huge fan of the instant gratification world that we live in, right? People want it and they want it now. They got a question, they Google it. They want to buy something, they get it on Amazon. Amazon has come twice since I've been on this live. And so I look at where I want to be marketed to, and it's not the local newspaper. I don't read the newspaper. When that little local newspaper is thrown in my driveway, it pisses me off because then I have to go out, I have to get it, and then I have to throw it in my garbage can. In fact, I wish I had, yesterday, I was going to pick up my daughter at volleyball practice. I was pulling out of my driveway, and I wish I had it because I'd show you guys. There was something sticking out of the tube in my mailbox, and I stop and I pull it out and I look at it, and it is a very well done, glossy. It's not a full postcard. It was kind of more like a brochure size, but it was a pressure washing company, a local pressure washing company, and it was a great postcard, right? Like this company had put the time, the effort. They'd done an outstanding job with the design. Everything on it was perfect, right? It was like something that I would do and be proud of. And so I didn't know this company, but I texted him and I was like, hey, this is Mike with All American Pressure Cleaning. I got your postcard. It was awesome. And we got to talking. Good guy, been in business full time, I think 5 or 6 months. But, I like that, right? Like high class, like a classy advertisement. I don't want to see a little clip or a bag with rocks thrown on my driveway. That's garbage to me. So I kind of just got off on a tangent there. Do you ever miss the vanity marketing like TV ads? I don't. Those were the vanity marketing. I did a lot of that. You can Google that and see some of my stuff, or go back on this channel and see some of that. And it's nothing that, did it work? Yeah, it generated business. Did the TV ads work? Yeah, it was cheap. It was on cable. You can target some, certain demographics like the Golf Channel, Home and Garden Network, cooking channels, things like that. Really hone in on who your ideal customer is. But I don't know if there was a lot of value there. I've done billboards. I've done, throw something out there as far as marketing, and I've either done it and wasted my money or done it and had success. And then I continually do those things that work for me. Okay, let's see. Could you please, I did that one. Advertise, no. Big Rob, hello. Ryan, did you get my email? Did you just send it? I'd have to look. Because if I got it, I would have responded. I don't think so, man. No. Oh, wait, hold on. I see you, Ryan. This is an old one. No, the last one I had from you was when we were talking about the Steelers game. Okay. Hey, Ryan, how's it going? Hey, Rob, going good. Good. Business is business no matter where you do it. Do you ever miss the vanity? Would you recommend buy a second soft washing truck or building one yourself? Now, if you've got the skill set to build it yourself, then by all means, go out and build it. I have built every single pressure washing trailer that we've ever had. This coming year, I'm going to have Cody at Southeast Soft Wash build one for me. And it's actually going to be very similar to the one that we're giving away at Washcon. And if you guys have just hopped on, Washcon, blah, 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 where it's an event in Nashville, but there's only 100 tickets available, and we're giving away a $28,000 Southeast Soft Wash trailer. Every ticket gets one entry. If you're a VIP roundtable ticket holder, you get 2 entries. So that doubles your odds in winning about a $30,000 trailer. So that is super cool. But I'm gonna have him build my next one. I learn a lot. Please don't stop. Oh, South Africa. I like it, man. Good luck to you in launching your business. As an entrepreneur, how are you blocking your schedule to be more effective in all your ventures? Can you talk about time blocking and being effective? Okay. You need to find out when you're most productive, right? I've heard lots of people say, well, every millionaire is, and every millionaire gets up at 4 a.m. because that's when you need to find out when you're most efficient. But in my opinion, my success in these businesses has been time allocation, and it's been automation. It's been finding the things that were daily tasks that weren't necessarily, they were important, but I shouldn't have been doing them on a daily basis. So I went through my business over the course of many, many years and fine-tuned it to where everything is pretty much on cruise control, like every aspect. very rarely do, well, I'm not going to get into it here, but, automation, not outsourcing, but automation and delegating if maybe you don't have employees, but, there's definitely things to do there that will help you manage your time. And maybe don't, and I hate to say this, but limit your time that you're on your phone, limit your time that you're on YouTube, limit your time you're watching TV, limit the time that you're spending on things that add zero value to your business. If you're in growth mode, if you're in success mode, then you can really narrow down what's important to you and focus on those things. And by focusing on those things, you're going to eliminate a lot of that wasted time, and you gain that time back for the more important things. So hopefully that answered your question. Billboards, we ran billboards many years ago, and they were okay. I mean, I've not done them since, and I just said a minute ago that when I find something that works and has a great ROI, I replicate, and I've not replicated billboards. So there's your answer. That dude could sell peanuts to an elephant. Which dude is that? All right. Peanuts to an elephant. I got an elephant back there. All right. I think I answered every question. And I've got not an appointment. I'm going to meet a guy to look at a couple buildings. It was kind of funny. He was giving me directions on how to get there. And he was like, yeah, I own the cul-de-sac behind the Lexus dealership. And I was like, oh, that's awesome. We just cleaned the Lexus dealership a couple of months ago. He's like, oh, that's great. I actually said he noticed Glenville, Georgia. Who do you recommend for a truck wrap? I've never had a wrap truck. So I don't know. I know there's a place in Richmond Hill, Georgia that does a really good job, but I don't have anybody that I've used, so I can't really, I really can't do that. Contemplating on getting my ticket for Washcon. The upcoming season will be my second season. I'd like to learn all I can. First season was more of a soft opening. Rob, I remember talking to you, about the casino, right? If I'm not mistaken, and I don't even know if you'd had your equipment yet, or maybe you just bought it. All right. Any other questions? How's business in Glenville? Can you wash a gas station with only a surface washer, 4 gallon per minute? What do you use for oil stain and SH for gas station? So when you're doing gas stations, and we used to do a ton of gas stations, I had nothing but hot water units. And we were doing I had 2 different chains that we were doing. Each of them had probably 15 stations, and that was just keeping 2 guys busy nonstop. But with gas stations, yes, you need a surface cleaner. A 4 gallon per minute, it can get the job done. You're not going to be as efficient as something bigger. And heat, hot water, steam, those are things that are going to make that job a lot easier. Gas stations are nasty. They've got a ton of oil. So you would definitely want to have a very, very strong degreaser if you're not using heat. Even obviously with heat, you use a degreaser at those places. But yeah, no SH really, unless you're doing canopies or something like that would build up. At what point would you recommend cleaning apartment complexes? We only have 2-pump trailer. Pricing is extremely important and scary. Yeah, I love apartments. We do apartments all the time. At what point would you recommend chasing apartment complexes? As soon as you're capable of doing an apartment complex. If you're comfortable going in there, talking to the people, quoting, finding out, all the things that you need to find out, landing the job, pricing it so you are making money, then you're ready to go after those things. Great, I'm going to do it part-time, but I'm booked into next month. That is great, Chris. I like that. As long as you don't come to Chatham County, we're good. And I'm only kidding. Come on down. More work than anybody can do pretty much anywhere. We talk about competition and we talk about the $99 guy all the time. I don't, but people do. Your competition is irrelevant. Your competition is important for understanding where your market is, right? But you can't worry about what somebody else is doing. If you worry about other people, then you're not focusing on yourself and your business, right? Like, yes, you have to understand who your competition is, where they're at, what they're good at. And, if they're beating your butt all the time, then maybe find a different niche, find a different customer base, whatever. I've been cleaning apartments since 2011, and that's what got me really to want to start my own pressure washing business. Yeah, man. And Dewey's got an in because he works with apartment complexes. He knows the in and outs, the nuances of the business. Starting a business in Canada, learning so much from your videos, man. Thank you so much. I thank you so much. Okay, but I've been washing apartments as an employee of the properties I work for, but it's so satisfying. Yeah, the cashing the checks is satisfying. So yeah, guys, I got to run and go meet this guy. I appreciate everybody jumping on with me. It's been a nice little half hour. What are the most important factors when bidding on apartments? Knowing your costs. You got to know your cost. You got to know the cost of goods sold, meaning what it's going to take for you to complete that specific job, right? There's no one size fits all pricing method for anything. It's based on your business. I'm going to Savannah tomorrow to get SH, LNH. I will buy you lunch if you're available. I don't know what my schedule is tomorrow. Dewey, good to see you, man. Have a good one too, Scott. Appreciate you. Who else? Chris, I got that. It's not showing up on the feed, but let's see. I'm going to write that down. Yeah, they don't put phone numbers in the live feed for obvious reasons. And let's see. Cheer, Mike, and thank you. Have a great week. Thanks. Yeah, thank you. I appreciate that. All right. Well, you guys have a great one. Yeah, Dewey made a great point. For apartment complexes, and I'll leave it on this. If you're going to start getting into commercial work, you have to have insurance. And it's probably not just general liability. A lot of these places, almost everybody that we work for requires workers' comp as well. Even if you're a one-man operation, they don't care. They require that. It's part of who they are and what they do. And they're just protecting themselves. But hola, Mr. Blaster. Did you get squared away on what we talked about? I hope so. Yeah, we do $2 million in general liability. I don't even remember all the rest. But that's it, guys. Appreciate it. And we'll talk to y'all later.